Yeah, man, it's the 28th of March, 2024. And so I was reading through some comments, and, people are saying, like, oh, the gang stalkers, some of them, they want you to sit at home and don't do anything, never leave the house. And then some of them seem like they want you to go do this and that. And this really, that's the truth, man, because you're dealing with different people. So different people may come on to your neural monitoring and make those unconsensual connections. When they do, they have different motives. Every person's not the same. Every gang stalker's not the same. And some of them have a different approach of what they're trying to accomplish. Some of them like to get on mind control, connect to some person unconsensually, and then be entertained. And if you're one of those people that's like running around and trying to escape the Illuminati and calling the police, and you're always like, I had times when like it was so wild when I was before I fully understood it. I understood it, but I didn't know like their full capabilities. And I would, jump on a train and go somewhere. I didn't know where I was going, and I cleared out my bank account, and I had like two big bags with me, and I'd jump on a bus and go here. And I remember one day I went into a fast food restaurant. I went in the bathroom and changed clothes, and I came out completely different looking than I had went in. And then I was walking up the street, and I was thinking like, thank God I finally got away from them, like I made it. I tricked them. And then they pulled up when I was walking through an intersection. They had stopped at the stoplight, and the guy looked over at me and he did his phone, like took a picture of me. And I was like, oh no, like the Illuminati. This was street theater, somebody that had neural monitoring, and they knew the whole time. They knew what I was thinking. They knew that I ran into the bathroom at the fast food and changed all my clothes and switched everything up, and it didn't work out. I thought it did, and I was so happy. Then I was so devastated, and running around town trying to escape and doing all this stuff. And they love that. Some of them, they love that. The live stream is banging when that kind of stuff is going on. They have a lot of viewers, and they can however they choose to monetize that situation. I'm not sure if they would have like advertising. I know they have advertising, just like any other website you go to, and there's little banners everywhere of advertising, and skip this little video advertisement, and then this thing will pop up as a little advertisement. And gang stalkers with their live streams would have the same type of scenario where they can do things like that and make money off of advertising. And they probably can also make money off of access, like private access, like a membership type of thing, or like pay $1 to access this stream. And if you have something, think about it, if you have something like that going on where you're running around town and you're calling the police and you're trying to escape, and you got street theater going on, and you're changing clothes and jumping from bus to train and all this kind of wild stuff, man. Think how many people probably would say, yeah, I'll pay $1 to watch this for a while, for a few hours. And you'll have gang stalkers that have access to your neural monitoring, and they'll keep it pretty tight as far as like full access, able to connect to you neurologically and broadcast and do the live streams and all of that. You might have quite a few, but it's not going to be 1,000 people. There might be 1,000 people that are put you on public to access it, as far as like see your location and become involved with like street theater. But the main gang stalkers that are on broadcast with the mind control headgear on and like neurologically connected and actually putting out the live streams of this EMF broadcast stuff, they think if they got thousands of people watching, they don't have to charge much to make quick thousands of dollars, to do a wild live stream like that. And and that's like, my situation was like that, and it was like that for a while, and there was lots of wild situations and crazy stuff that was happening. And I imagine that quite a few gang stalkers made a bunch of money off of that, and they probably have these things just sitting there making a little bit every day, whether it's a dollar or a few cents a day, and then they got hundreds or thousands of those type of things as content, just like somebody would have thousands of videos making a little bit, and if it's interesting enough and they have enough followers or whatever it is they have, or websites, or subscribers or members or whatever it is they have, if they have enough of that revenue coming in, then they would have successfully monetized gang stalking in a way to support their life as a full-time job. So this thing about gift cards and governments giving them this and that, and from what I've seen, that's inaccurate, and that's not how this actually works. But then there's the other side of it. You know, those are the ones that want you to run around and do this and that and all this stuff. And to be honest, since my life has calmed down and I understand how gang stalking works, and I live a very structured, scheduled type of existence, you know, where I work and I do my schoolwork, and I don't run around a lot, and I have a plan of action and all of this stuff. And it's a more boring lifestyle, sure. It's more stable, and it's better over the long run for anybody, but not the gang stalkers. So what I've had happen over the years is all of those type of gang stalkers filter out, and what you're left with are the obsessed ones that they feel possessive over your neural monitoring, like they own you or something, and they do a lot of torture. They attack you with broadcasts, and this is mainly like what they like to do is to try to thrill their own mind or ease their own pain or whatever it is by torturing people, you know. And not to mention they have all of this history where they've been doing things to you, and they have to try to protect that, make sure you never get neural monitoring. So it's almost like they're trapped on your neural monitoring, or keeping an eye on it at least. But or to be honest though, they really wouldn't go anywhere anyway, because the ones that are left over when you turn your life to that direction, the ones that are left over, they're not there to be so entertaining. And if you notice, the laggers that stick around and never leave, they're not that entertaining. They more act like they have mental problems rather than like a normal person that's entertaining. And I know it's wrong, okay, but I can see the entertainment aspect of, you know, trying to live stream this person, you know, like the Truman Show, that's trying to escape and figure it out and running around, and it's always exciting and wild and crazy things are happening. You're calling the police. I mean, it's messed up that they would use up the resources, as far as public safety, and even weaponize the judicial system. And if you start to come up on the wrong information or point the wrong fingers, you know, you have people that'll actually try to weaponize the judicial system to control you in those circumstances. But the ones that want you to sit at home and just not do anything with your life, it's because they would rather just sit there and torture you and stay connected to you unconsensually, because they love your mind. For one, they love the way your mind works, but for two, they want to torture you, and they need to protect their position where they've done a lot of stuff to you, and they don't want to be ousted for all of that. They don't want to lose this circumstance that they're in, where they can get on your neural monitoring every day. And that's the ones you're left with, the abusive ones that seem to have mental problems, that aren't that entertaining or intelligent. And unfortunately, quite a few gang stalkers are those ones. There's all kinds of different people that have neural monitoring, and there's lots of them that can be classified as gang stalkers. And there's also quite a few different aspects of gang stalking, and the ones that are more violent and would like to sit there and torture you every day, they're not the ones that are entertaining or intelligent. And so I wanted to talk about that because it was a comment, and I saw some good comments, and it's true, you know, it's such a mixture of different types of people, and it seems confusing. Like, what do they really want? And they want different things. Different ones want different things. The ones that torture you, they'd like to suppress you and have you sit at home and never be successful and never learn anything, be miserable, and probably take pain pills and lay around and be worthless. And that way they can just own you like that. And, and I would say none of them probably want you to become successful and get your neural monitoring and be able to become a problem for their way of life. But The ones that are more entertaining and jump in with that aspect of when you're a more interesting when you're living a more interesting lifestyle. The ones that want to deal with that are the ones that kind of go away when your life becomes more boring. And sure, they got plenty to lose too, but they're also the ones that aren't so much that they're not nearly as likely to just sit there and torture you all day, because it's not their personality. And unfortunately, I'm left with 4 or 5 of them that is who they are, and whatever psychological, mental problems they have, or whatever trauma they have in their past, they've decided that what's fun to them or what they like to do is to torture and hurt people. And I get the sense that it's somebody that they're jealous of. They wish they were me, and they're mad at God for not being as cool as somebody else or something like that. And they just hate life, and they hate you, but they love you. They love your mind. They want to be connected to you. They'll never go away, but they hate you so much. And so you just end up being tortured. And that's what it's been for many years with me now, is just a constant torture. They were hitting my head, side of my head, with some shocking jolts last night. My left knee, my right ankle, my right foot, even my heart area a couple times, a lot of things, you know. And the last few nights they've had, I've made some posts about it on the community tab yesterday. The last few nights they've had some really violent live streams where, you know, you could tell suddenly it becomes super violent, and you know that they started a live stream. You'll have one of them trying to do like a evil, sinister, whispering voice, like in this, you know, they got mental problems. But you can tell when they start that live stream. And I don't know if they've brought on a 5th guy, or if they're mad about something or whatever. If they're mad about something and you think it's something you've done, try to remember it's probably more so something that has happened to them in their life, and they hate it. They hate their life. They can't seem to resolve their own issues, and they take it out on you like a narcissistic, abusive type of person. And that's what they are. So it's not necessarily something you can do to keep them from being abusive and torturing you with broadcasts. It's more or less something like they hate their own life, and they're just going to take it out on you. You happen to be the punching bag. And in this situation, it's not like you can walk away, because they have your neural monitoring, and they can attack you with broadcasts. So they're always letting off their steam by hurting you. And that's what kind of people I'm left with here. But it's been brutal the last few nights. But anyway, that's about it for now. I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the support for the channel. And that's it. Y'all have a good one.